In a world where growing up seems like a never-ending battle, there's a lesson to be learned from the story of Peter Pan. You see, Peter Pan is the boy who refuses to grow up, clinging onto his magical world of childhood. And who can blame him? The adults around him, especially Captain Hook, represent the loss of innocence, the tyranny of adulthood, and the inevitable march of time. But there's more to this story than meets the eye. Peter Pan may be the king of the lost boys in Neverland, but Neverland is just an illusion. And being the king of lost boys doesn't exactly scream success. What Peter sacrifices in his refusal to grow up is the possibility of a real relationship with a woman like Wendy, who represents maturity, family, and the acceptance of mortality. So why would anyone willingly choose to leave behind the boundless potential of childhood? Well, the truth is, whether we like it or not, maturity comes knocking at our door. It's a choice between embracing our limitations or being blindsided by them later in life. And let me tell you, being an old infant, an adult who hasn't matured, is not a pretty sight. In a culture that allows us to postpone adulthood without immediate consequences, the price we pay only accumulates over time. And when that price finally catches up with us, it's a harsh wake-up call. People aren't as forgiving of cluelessness and lack of direction when you're no longer a fresh-faced 20-something. So we must choose our sacrifice, our transformation, because it's inevitable. But there's something even more profound hidden within this process. When we leave behind the sheer potential of childhood and embark on an apprenticeship, we become something. We take on a role, develop skills, and gain expertise. And through this narrow training period, we not only narrow and constrict ourselves, but we also expand our possibilities. When we become masters of our craft, whether it's plumbing or any other profession, we transcend the confines of that title. We become employers, mentors, community pillars. We create a family and build a legacy. It's through this journey of apprenticeship and mastery that we rediscover the child we left behind, the child full of wonder, curiosity, and endless potential. Jung believed that this was the path of development in the second half of life. It's a journey of reconnecting with the child within as we embrace the wisdom and experience gained through our chosen sacrifice. You see, sacrifice is unavoidable. We can either choose it consciously or have it thrust upon us. So my friend, I ask you, what's your sacrifice? What will you choose to give up in order to step into your full potential? Because it's in that choice that the doors of possibility swing wide open. If you found this video valuable and thought-provoking, I encourage you to subscribe to our channel. By subscribing, liking, and hitting the notification bell, you'll stay updated with our latest content that will help you on your path to success and ambition. Now, before I go, I want to leave you with one final question. What action will you take from this video to bring you closer to the life you desire? I eagerly await your answers. Stay tuned for future videos packed with insights and wisdom. And if you found this video truly valuable and would like to show your appreciation, you have the option to give a tip proportional to the value you received. The link can be found in the video description. Until next time, my friend, embrace your sacrifice and unleash the full potential of your journey. In a world where unskilled laborers are being replaced by robots, it's crucial to know how to be indispensable. In this video, I will share social manipulation tips that will make you a linchpin in your workplace, ensuring you never get replaced. But first, let's talk about what a linchpin actually is. A linchpin is someone who is crucial to achieving the organization's goals. They immerse themselves in their work, making themselves irreplaceable. Schools often teach us to do the minimum required to pass, but that doesn't build linchpins. It's important to question authority, think outside the box, and solve interesting problems. Leadership skills are also essential and can be practiced and cultivated. Now, let's dive into the first tip: becoming an artist in your craft. A true linchpin turns their work into an art, making it look effortless. Richard Branson is a perfect example. He creates billions of dollars of value in under 5 minutes, making the rest of his time look equally valuable, even if it's spent on simple tasks. Schools often teach obedience, but that's poison to linchpins. We should focus on solving interesting problems and learning how to lead. The second tip is to make yourself irreplaceable by forming personal connections. Those who create a bond between the customer and the brand are extremely important. Think about the cashier at your local store who brightens your day with their enthusiastic attitude. These individuals are true linchpins. Next, we have the power of giving. Giving can take many forms, such as giving more work time, compliments, or personalized gifts. The key is to give without expecting anything in return. When you give, you create a psychological hierarchy that places others forever in debt to you. It's important to make your gifts an art, something that showcases your skills and compliments the recipient. Giving also increases happiness levels, so it's a win-win. Now, let's talk about Dunbar's number. This concept states that a typical person can only keep up with around 150 close-knit friends. I challenge you to give a gift to everyone in your tribe within a year. By giving, you'll see immediate returns and your giving skills will improve over time. The closer you get to the front of an organization, the more power you have and the less replaceable you become. The Old Spice commercials with Isaiah Mustafa are a perfect example. He is the top-of-the-line branding and will always have a spot in their company. On the other hand, restaurant workers flipping burgers could easily ruin a brand's reputation if a video of misconduct went viral. Lastly, psychologists have identified 5 traits that are essential to how people view us. These traits can be learned and developed: openness, conscientiousness, extroversion, agreeableness, and emotional stability. When combined, these traits make us not only great on the outside but also linchpins with a heart. I hope you've learned something valuable from this video. If you did, please like and leave a comment. And don't forget to subscribe for more content that will help you become a successful and ambitious individual. Now, let me ask you, what actions will you implement in your life after watching this video? Hey there, Max Sterling fans. Are you tired of feeling controlled by your addictions and impulses? Do you want to regain control over your life and restore your motivation? Well, you're in luck because today, I'm going to share with you a practice called dopamine fasting that can help you do just that. But first, let's talk about the world we live in. It's a world designed to stimulate our emotions and keep us addicted. Every advertisement, every social media post, it's all geared towards giving us that short rush of pleasure. And big companies are making trillions of dollars off of keeping us addicted. But here's the thing, if you don't have a plan for yourself, you're going to be at the mercy of these companies, just like a puppet on their strings. You'll sacrifice your free will, searching for happiness in a maze designed to keep you lost. Did you know that on average, people use their smartphones for about 3 hours per day? That's 1095 hours every year. But don't worry, there's a way to regain control. And that's through dopamine fasting. Now, I know you're probably wondering, what is dopamine fasting? Well, before we get into that, let's talk about dopamine. It's a brain chemical associated with wanting and new rewards. That first lick of an ice cream cone? Heaven. But 10 licks later, your attention wanders, and it's just not as exciting anymore. That's because your brain is always looking for the next new thing to excite you. And with video games, porn sites, and social media, your brain always has that next new thing. And that's why you find yourself mindlessly scrolling through Instagram and checking notifications instead of being productive. It's a vicious cycle, and it leaves you feeling unfulfilled and demotivated. That's where dopamine fasting comes in. Dopamine fasting is the practice of avoiding dopamine-stimulating activities for extended periods of time to reset your brain and let go of addictive behaviors. But hold on. Let's clarify something. Dopamine fasting is not about reducing dopamine itself. It's about reducing impulsive behaviors. It's not about becoming a monk who abstains from pleasure altogether. Now, you might be wondering, does dopamine fasting really work? Well, studies show that cognitive behavioral therapy, on which dopamine fasting is based, is an effective way to change behavior. So, yes, it can help you manage your addictions. Plus, dopamine fasting may help increase the number of dopamine receptors in your brain, which can restore your motivation. So, how do you dopamine fast? It's simple. Step 1. Identify the behaviors that are causing you distress or impairments. Emotional eating, internet and gaming addiction, gambling and shopping, thrill and novelty seeking, recreational drugs, or porn and masturbation. Step 2. Follow a dopamine fasting schedule. Start small by refraining from the behavior for 1 to 4 hours every day, then progress to 1 day per week, 1 weekend per quarter, and eventually, 1 full week per year. But I understand that it can be challenging to do it alone. So, here are some tips to make it easier for you to overcome your addictions. Let's talk about routine and reward replacement. If you want to break a bad habit, like buying a Coke every day, you need to identify the behavior, the reward you're craving, and the trigger that sets off the craving. By experimenting with different rewards and triggers, you can find healthier alternatives to satisfy your cravings. For example, if you're craving a sugar high, instead of reaching for a Coke, try drinking a bottle of water or going for a walk and calling a friend. Once you've identified the triggers and rewards, make a plan to consciously choose a healthier behavior when the craving hits. It's all about rewiring your brain and taking control of your impulses. And that's it, folks. That's how you can overcome your addictions and restore your motivation through dopamine fasting. If you found this video valuable, make sure to subscribe, like, and hit the notification bell, so you never miss out on our insightful content. And also, don't forget to leave a tip if you found this information helpful. The link is in the description below. Now, I want to hear from you. What actions from this video are you going to implement in your life? Leave a comment down below and let's start our dopamine fasting journey together. Until next time, stay strong and stay motivated.